Welcome to Shorthand Hub channel. Get ready for the dictation at the rate of 120 words per minute. If you want to encourage our channel, please join through the join button. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, start. Honorable members of the bar and bench. In the recent past, the Indian judiciary has consistently grappled with the delicate balance between ancient legal fictions and modern scientific realities. In this connection, a significant milestone was reached on 21st April 2026 when the Honorable Supreme Court of India delivered a far reaching judgment in the case of Nikat Parvin's case. At this juncture, the ruling has clarified the legal position regarding the liability of a man to pay maintenance for a child when scientific evidence conclusively proves a lack of biological paternity. It is a matter of great pride that our legal system, while rooted in tradition, is sufficiently dynamic to embrace the truth as established by the best available science. As a matter of fact, the case originated from a matrimonial dispute where the appellant mother sought interim maintenance under the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005. In the first place, she claimed that the respondent was the father of her child born during their brief marriage. However, the respondent denied paternity and moved an application for a DNA test. Taking into consideration the facts of the case, the trial court allowed the request and the resulting DNA report dated 8th May 2017 confirmed a 0% probability of the respondent being the biological father. With reference to this undisputed report, the lower court denied maintenance for the child, leading to the eventual appeal before the apex court. In accordance with the legislative intent of Section 112 of the Indian Evidence Act, now mirrored in Section 116 of the Bharatiya Saksha Adhiniyam 2023, a child born during a valid marriage is presumed to be legitimate. In addition to this, the law mandates that this presumption can only be rebutted by proving non access between the spouses. It is observed that this conclusive proof was originally designed to protect children from the social stigma of illegitimacy and to ensure their financial security. Without any delay, the Supreme Court had to decide whether this legal presumption must yield to the absolute certainty of a DNA test result that has already attained finality. In the course of time, judicial opinion on this matter has seen significant evolution. In view of the fact that Section 112 was enacted in an era where DNA testing was not even in contemplation, the court noted that scientific advancement has now provided a perfect means of ascertaining the truth. Careful consideration was given to the precedent in Bedwick's case, wherein it was held that when there is a conflict between a legal fiction and scientific proof accepted by the old community as correct, the latter must prevail. It is important to note that while the law traditionally desists from branding a child as a bastard, it cannot simultaneously ignore the injustice of forcing a man to pay maintenance for a child he did not father. At the same time, the court distinguished the present matter from the 24 ruling. In spite of the caution expressed in that case against routinely ordering DNA tests, the bench of Justice Sanjay Karol and other justices observed that the situation changes entirely once a test has already been conducted with the parties' consent. On the other hand, if the report is already part of the judicial record and remains undisputed, it would be a travesty of justice to overlook the scientific reality in favor of a rebuttable legal presumption. As far as the court is concerned, the interest of justice is best served by discovering the truth rather than banking on outdated presumptions. In this regard, the court held that the protection of Section 112 would have been available to the appellant only if the DNA test had not already been conducted and brought on record. It is expected that once a court ordered DNA report confirms non-paternity and reaches finality, the man can't be made liable to pay maintenance for that child. Beyond reasonable doubt, forcing such a financial obligation upon a non-biological parent in the face of scientific evidence would be inherently unjust. It goes without saying that maintenance laws are meant to provide social security, but they can't be used to impose liability where the biological link has been scientifically severed. In the light of these developments, the Supreme Court dismissed the appeal for the child's maintenance but did not ignore the human aspect of the tragedy. As a result of the denial of parental support, the court expressed deep concern for the minor girl's welfare. In due course, the bench issued a unique and compassionate direction to the Secretary, Women and Child Development Department, Government of the National Capital Territory of Delhi. I would like to state that the state has been directed to access the child's living conditions, including her education, nutrition, and health, and to take remedial measures to ensure her well being. We are of the opinion that this judgment serves as a bridge between legal stability and scientific accuracy. I hope and trust that this ruling will guide lower courts in balancing the rights of man against the protection of children in paternity disputes. Necessary action must be taken by the legal fraternity to understand that while legal fictions protect social order, they can't forever suppress the truth revealed by modern technology. In view of the above, the ruling of 21st April 2026 reinforces the principle that justice must be both truthful and empathetic. With these words, we conclude that while the respondent is relieved of his financial liability, the state must now step in as the guardian of the child caught in the crossfire of a broken hope. Stop. If you want to get more updates, please subscribe our channel. If you want to encourage our channel, please join through the join button.